ways to assist the community. We need people who are having such problems to come forward. It may be a situation that there could be a tort claim put through the city clerk's office, or it might be a situation that if it is actual homeowner, damage to the homeowner's property, that they may go through their homeowner insurance.
Mayor Briggs, what's that first step and when that happens? What's the first step?
The first step actually would be to contact the city administrator's office, and she's located in the annex building across the street from City Hall. You can either go directly to her office up on the 3rd floor, or I invite you to come to Plainfield City Hall at 515 Watchung Avenue, the 1st floor, Mayor's office, and we will address your situation.
We have one of our earlier panelists who does have a response also to that question that Egypt mentioned just a moment ago. Brother?
Yes, in reference to the gun laws, New Jersey has probably the strictest gun laws in the country. They have the Grave Act. If you're caught with a gun, you're doing a mandatory of 3 years. And in reference to where the gang members invited, you would never know it, but several walked through here earlier.
All right, Andrew.
I have a couple of questions related to the state parole office. One says, how much has the opening of a state parole office contributed to the rise of violent crime in the area? Because so many ex-offenders, this questioner says, are being brought into Plainfield. And kind of the same kind of question, they said that there are a lot of ex-offenders living in our city. Why live more in Plainfield than any city around us? If that is true.
Thomas Mount, United Youth Council. First of all, I don't know the stats on Plainfield, but here in New Jersey, 63% of the prison population are black, the highest in the nation. 6,000 nationwide, 6,000 between teenage and 24 would die by way of homicide across this country. And I wanted to give you those facts because getting back to the prison piece, you know, here in New Jersey, we have what they call the Northern State Gang Unit. They have a prison just assigned to so-called gangs. The United Youth Council Corporation nationwide, we don't call our kids gangs no more. As of this year, I told them we don't call. They could be misguided, misinformed, misdirected, but they're not a gang. A gang is suspect in how the system addresses our young people across this country. Black young people. Why is it in New Jersey, 58% of the arrests are white? 63% are black in prison. Again, see, we have to look at the whole social science of this whole thing. And I'm not trying to make a black thing, but if it sounds black, then it is what it is. The thing is that what we have to do is first understand it. One of the things United Youth Council is pushing is that there will be a study. There's never been an urban study on violence in New Jersey. Why? There's never been no call. There's not a recognition that violence as a public health crisis. With most experts say violence is a public health crisis. Why are we going to criminalize violence, put policing in our community, then Larry Ham and myself be back here next week because some police don't violate some young person that didn't do anything. So the thing is, this thing is more scientific. This thing is more than what you think it may be. And I've been to the same meeting in Trenton where a 13-year-old was shot on July 4th. Killed. Y'all heard about that. And they got national attention. And the same kind of crowd came out here. We had the experts, we had the politicians, and we had some of our national leaders and others who are good friends of mine, came out, preached and preached, and we went home and did nothing. So don't take this thing as just some, this is just not some, in Chicago, 50 young people died in middle school alone. Middle school age kids died in homicide. What's up with that? Why is black people at the brunt of violence? We have most in our community, most police area and black communities, but yet we go to white community where there's no policing and there's no violence. But yet we got most of the police in black communities and we got violence. Something wrong with the policing system and something wrong with how we deal with violence.
My brother is an outgoing and I share a lot of conversations together regularly. But it starts with us, as he said, when we can have a young man throw his own baby over a bridge and nobody asks the question. When a young girl in Trenton can sell her own little sister into prostitution.
That's right, that's right.
There's a problem. And until we start addressing it ourselves,
That's right.
it's going to continue. And it starts with after
Mobilize.
we've been out there on Tuesday nights, and I again for spearheading us, being out there in the toughest communities, talking to people, trying to make a difference. And the first night, it was great. We had a lot of people there. The second week, we had a few less. The last week, maybe a handful, you know, because people, it dies off, and until it hits you at your home, and we're knocking on your door at 2 o'clock in the morning, it doesn't affect you. But I want you to understand, it affects you.
Everybody. Thank you, Sergeant. I'd like to address quickly the part about people coming home and the ratio of more people coming home to Plainfield. In the city of Plainfield, we have a re-entry task force, and that's because we recognize the fact that when people have paid their debt to society, they ought to have the right to be able to come back to their home, raise their families, and we need to be able to help them find jobs, find housing, address their medical needs and other things, because you know what? They are ours. We can't ostracize them. They are our family members, our neighbors, our associates, and if we don't take care of them, they're going to end up going and doing the same things that made them end up in prison in the first place. So with regard to people coming home to Plainfield, the city of Plainfield will embrace them if they pay their debt to society, would help them to be better citizens and better good neighbors. Better neighbors for all of us, and I hope that everyone will be a little tolerant and flexible and loving when we deal with that portion of our community. Now, if they end up doing bad things, we know that they have to go where they have to go. But they are our family members, our friends, and we need to embrace them and help them, because when we help them, we help our entire community in Plainfield.
Let's go back to the floor.
Yes, I have a question in regards to what you were just mentioning, Mayor.
Yes.
Jobs, housing, problem for most of us right now, we can all relate, but it presents a particular, a special problem for those re-entering the system from, you know, of course, from the prison system. What exactly is the city planning on doing regarding jobs and housing for prior inmates?
Thank you, Egypt. Let me speak to the job portion of that for a moment. I did bring some information to your attention earlier tonight that we are very, very happy that we have some entities here in the city of Plainfield. Let me mention a few. Amica and Porterfield Bus Company. They hire people who have come home from prison. PMUA, our trash pickup company, they hire people who have come home. We recognize that when people come home, not just to the city of Plainfield, but to any municipality, if they write their name down and give their information on an employment application, one of the top 3 questions is, have you ever been incarcerated?
Absolutely.
And that generally would make an application go wayside. What we have done is we've implemented and we've given grant funding and are working with entities in the city of Plainfield that are willing to do job training and job placement for individuals who need such help. So therefore, their background is not the #1 thing that we're looking into. We're looking for people who are willing to work hard, who are willing to learn a trade, willing to put down any guns or any activity like that, and be good residents in the city of Plainfield. And if they're willing to do that, we're willing to help them. We absolutely help them. Yes, Congressman?
I don't want to be repetitive of what I said before, but I think that it's a combination of changing the laws and the budget priorities, but also attitude. You know, unfortunately, as the mayor said, right now, a lot of employers are afraid to hire somebody who has any kind of record. And we've got to change that. It's a question of changing the law or just attitude, you know, in some way. And also, as Senator Green mentioned, you know, we've cut out all these programs, training programs. You know, if you're in prison for 5 or 10 years, you know, your skills that you may have had may not be relevant anymore. And so you can't wait till you get out. You've got to do something in the prison so that people can be retrained there. You know, I'll just tell one story and I'll be quick. My father was a policeman. And I remember one day when I was a kid, I was maybe 7 or 8 years old, and a guy came in to redo the floors. And for some reason, I had known that he had been a criminal. In fact, he was a murderer, and he went away for a long time, I don't know, maybe 20 years or something. And I asked my dad, I said, well, isn't that guy a criminal or something like that, you know? And he sat me down, he said, I want you to know he paid his debt to society, just like the mayor said. And he's got to have an opportunity to work, otherwise he's going to go back to prison. That's what it's all about. But, you know, we've done so much to put I don't know what you call it, an imprint on society that, you know, this person should never work and they got a record and the whole thing. So some of it is resources in the prison while they're there. Some of it is to make it, you know, maybe even financial sense for employers to hire people at a otherwise the recidivism is just